Hey, not feeling it today, so figured I'd go to the list. Couple of recent questions. Deb asked, how do you self-tone police when dealing with difficult people? And Carmen M. asked if I had any advice for people new to writing. Let's see what I can get to. Advice for people new to writing: don't plan on making money. Simple as that. Writing as an industry is very much a who you know and who you blow. If you're popular already, you'll get a book contract. If you already have a built fan base, you'll get somewhere. But the average independent writer makes $200 a book. That's it. I give away thousands of copies in order to get one review that might sell 5 copies. This whole big people are making money in being an independent ranks up there with the vendor who goes to the convention, sells 18 books, makes $180 net or gross, does not understand that the book cost them $5 to print, so if they sold it for 10, they only made $5 a book. They count it as making $10 a book. They don't count their table costs, they don't count their convention cost, blah, 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 blah. I'm in a couple of mega groups on writing, on independence, and I watch the people. I made $87,000 last year. Okay, before or after taxes? Okay, so you didn't make $87,000 because taxes have to come out after the fact. You're an independent, nobody's pulling them out for you, which means you're going to lose 50%. Okay, so you made $47,000. That's okay, that's good. Then a week and a half later, they're going like, I did this advertising campaign, it cost $2,000 and I made $2,400. So you made $400. And if you ask them, they made $400. That they're going to have to pay taxes on the $2,400, that they're going to be able to take the $22,000 off their taxes. It's all a fucking paper game. It really is. Do I sound enthused? I sound enthused. One of the things you hit up against is don't write for free. You'll die of exposure. There are plenty of markets I am willing to write for free, if I choose to. I published in a literary journal for abuse recently. No, I don't share this stuff. If you're I'm not going to post a Facebook post saying, hey, go check out my short story in this journal. It costs you $29 to register for. I ain't going to do it. If they want to promote it, they can promote it. A large number of journals out there and magazines out there exist. I'll tell you what, I'm going to do an anthology. You're going to give me your story for free, because we all know I'm not going to make any money. And I'm going to publish it. I'm going to publish 20 writers in this anthology. And you're going to buy 2 copies. I'm not going to give you 2 copies. We're too broke. You know I'm not making money at this. You're going to buy 2 copies. And, your mom's going to buy a copy. And your best friend's going to buy a copy. And you are good for 5 copies. And I published 20 writers. And that's 100 copies. Well, hey, I made $500 on this. I ain't going to promote it. But I will submit to it because I do like the what they're trying to do. I'm bitter. I admit it. I'm worn out. Right now is not a good time to talk to me about writing. I haven't been writing for over a year because I'm emotionally at a standstill far more than I am creatively. Creatively, I am still working forward. Okay? I'm just not working forward on publishing. I'm working forward on writing. As a new writer, take anybody who gives you advice with a grain of salt, because we all come from our own ish. Right now, obviously, I'm not giving good advice. The best of the best can give bad advice sometimes. And the best advice for one person might be the worst advice for you. Write. Write some more. Write some more. Don't bog down on editing. Don't bog down on rewriting. Just write. You will get better by volume faster than you get better by finesse. That is one of the rules for the basics. There's an old story about a ceramics class where the teacher tells half of the class that they're going to be graded on one pot, and the other half of the class that they're going to be graded on volume of pots. So half of the class spends the entire year making as many pots as possible, and the other half of the class spends the entire year making the perfect pot. And at the end of the year, the best of the volume is equal to the best of the single. It's your call. As a ghostwriter, I wrote 30 to 50,000 words a month. I mean, Namo, Writemo every single month for decades. Doesn't make me the best writer. It just means that I know what I'm capable of. If I want to write a short story, I sit down, I write a short story. If I don't want to write a short story, I don't sit down, I don't write a short story. That's where I've been at for a year now. And half of that is just health. As a new writer who wants to get into writing, you need to decide if you want to get into writing or if you want to get into publishing. If you want to get into publishing, you need to make a clear-cut decision in advance if you want to get into mainstream or if you want to get into independent, completely different markets, regardless of genre. You have to decide if you're in it to go to conventions, to panel, or if you're in it for fans, or if you're in it just to get something out there. But don't do it for the money. Writing is one of the least, you can make more money from art like that than you can from writing on a good day. Because one of the things with being a minority is there are too many people who want to be there's no polite way to put all this. And change subjects. If you're doing it for the money, then go to Fiverr.com and Odesk and all of the freelancer places and get freelance contracts and make them pay you 50% up in advance, and understand you may only get that 50% on every single contract because that's the way the industry works. How to tone police when dealing with difficult people. How to self-tone police when dealing with difficult people. There's a lot of variables on that. If the difficult person is your brother, your uncle, your dad, you're at a family dinner, tell them to fuck off and walk away. Nobody is worth it. Nobody. If the difficult person is your boss, or your landlord, or even your neighbor next door, or the law enforcement officer at the mall, yes, sir. No, sir. Anything you say, sir. What did you not, sir? Yes, sir. Uh-huh. Yeah. Wow, you're really, yeah. That's how you deal with difficult people when they're in a position of power over you. If somebody has the ability to get you fired or get you evicted, you suck it up. It would be nice to be a hero. It would be nice to flip them the bird and walk away. Don't unless you already have your next job or place to live lined up. Don't pick fights with the neighbors unless you have enough money in the bank for first, last, plus a deposit. Don't look at it this way. You're sitting in a hair salon and the woman above you is snipping at your hair and she's got a Raiders t-shirt on. And she's above you with a pair of scissors, and you have your glasses off, so you really can't even see the mirror, and you say, man, I hate the Raiders. The Raiders suck. The Raiders' main sports ball person is the worst sports ball person there is. They're all incestuous assholes. You deserve the bad haircut. If your boss is a racist, misogynist ass, and we've all had them, if your boss is psychologically manipulative. When I was young, at one point I was in a shop where we all quit the same day and walked off in a huff. Dumb. Really dumb. For me, it was fine. I had the money, I had the ability. Some of those people that walked off with me didn't. And you don't get unemployment when you quit. Doesn't matter if you quit because he's a racist asshole. Unemployment doesn't care. If it's your landlord, unless you have first, last, plus a deposit, you suck it up. You pretend to be their best friend. You do what you need to do to survive. Yes, sir. Anything you say, sir. Yes, boss. That's what you do. If it's your significant other in a living arrangement and you don't have enough money to move out, it depends on where that label of difficult falls. If difficult is just you're bearing the emotional burden of the relationship and you want them to grow up, counseling. If difficult is borderline to abuse, shelter. I get mouthy at people. I chase Nazis down the street when I don't have the health to chase Nazis down the street. When it's just me. When nobody else is in danger. I get mouthy at people when somebody else is being threatened. I will wade right in and scream and shout with the best of them. But when somebody else would be threatened by my being mouthy, I shut up. When I can't afford to be mouthy, I shut up. I'll chase a single, skinny, young Nazi down the street for his t-shirt. I won't chase a big-ass guy. I won't chase a big-ass woman. I won't chase a crowd of them. I won't start mouthing off at a crowd of them in a public place. It's not worth it. People have guns. What do you do with difficult people? 90% of the time you suck it up. So my advice today is not that great because I'm obviously not in a good headspace. We may reassess those again in a week or two when I feel better. Tell me what you think. Bye.